Hello everyone, welcome back to the shop. Hope you all had a wonderful week. As we get into our weekend, I want to start working on some custom orders. I tell people often when they start looking at getting into any of these machines, CNC, 3D printing, lasers, it's not going to be long after you start making things. People's going to start bringing you pictures of items and saying, can you make this for me? And that's what we have here. So we're going to dive into some different methods of creating this mug here. This is just a refrigerator magnet. She's gave me the dimensions. She wants it 8 inches tall, and she wants something similar to this. So we're going to see if she likes what I come up with. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to come into ChatGPT and I'm going to ask it to create an image of a red mug with a candy cane handle. In the mug, I want 6 gingerbread cookies with Santa hats. The gingerbread cookies should have white icing. There should be icing around the edge of the mug. It's almost done creating my image. There we go. I think we can work with that. I'm just going to download this image and we're going to try to use some trace tools. I'm going to start by trying the trace tool in LightBurn first, just to see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this image because I want a brighter contrast. There's some of this noise in here. Increase some gamma. I'm going to be replacing this text anyway. I'm not concerned about the text, but I do want to get these lines as dark as possible. A little noise right there. Let's see how good that does. So now let's use our trace tool. It missed. We can see now that it missed a fair amount of our holly leaves. So let's do that again. Trace. I'm going to zoom in. I want to adjust my slider on the trace. Don't want to miss any of our holly leaves. I was fully expecting to have to retype this text anyway. That looks a lot better. Alright, I'm going to have to ungroup that. I'm going to select all of this text and just go ahead and get rid of it. Go into our node tool, clean that sharp corner up where the letters was tying into the holly. I need 2 of these for this one order. One of them had 6 names and the other one had 4 names. So let's take care of the 4 names right at the moment. I'm just going to use these 4 and I'm going to do away with this one. I don't want to do away with that vector though. I want to use that vector because it traces the outline of these 2 gingerbread men here. So what I want to do, I want to come in here, my node editing tool, I'm going to break this line, hit B, get rid of that. Down here I want to hit B here and break that line. Hit D, select these nodes, hit D, get them back out of the way. I'm going to bring this all the way up and I'm going to tie that. I'm going to tie these 2 nodes together. Bring this node down just a hair. There. That looks good. We'll select all of these nodes and we'll get rid of them. And then we'll tie these two nodes together. There. I think that right there will be usable. I think I'll probably get rid of these little shapes there. And I'm going to redraw these candy cane stripes. See right here we've got a start of a joining the candy canes there. So I'm going to hit I to insert a node. I was clicking that node to drag it down and using my mouse wheel to zoom out at the same time. I'm going to use my trim tool, separate those. Oh, they didn't weld together. There we go. Too much space. There. And we'll get rid of all of these. Do us another stripe right here. I'm going to drop an I right here to insert a node. I'll move this node down a little closer. Insert another node. That way when I pull this down, these two lines will stay. You can see when I move these flags around, I have two options here. When I move this flag around, it is affecting this line over here. There's two options I have here. I can make this flag as short as possible. That way it does not, when I move this flag, it does not move that one as much. Or I can click that node and I can press C for corner. Then it don't matter where I put this flag, it will not affect this line. Two options you have there. And depending on your design, will determine which one you want to use. Now we're going to scoop these over just a little bit. Oh, those didn't weld together either. There we go. Now they're welded together. And then we'll remove these. Control Z. Get back in my nodes. I'm going to pull these down. I want that way just a hair. I want to continue node. Drop a node here, drop a node there, pull these down. I'm going to continue my way all the way around this handle so I can make these candy cane stripes. Click this node, hit C, pull that down, pull this node, hit C, Pull that down. Get my snipping tool. Snip those out. Make sure these nodes welded together, which they did not for some reason. That means these two probably did not either. Yep, they did not. C for corner. That one too. C for corner. That one too. Just selected all these nodes and hit C for corner. Snipping tools. Snip, snip. Select all of these vectors. Get rid of them. Don't want to get rid of all these vectors at one time. I want some semblance of a guideline where to drop these candy cane stripes. That one welded. Hit D, delete that node. And I'll do those 3 more. Alright, I'm going to put a name on here. I'm going to grab the little blue dot and curve it to the hat. Cant it just a little bit. Hold control, shrink it down. Get this placed right in here just so. Alright, once I get all my names in here, we'll be ready to go to the next program. No, we won't. We're just going to put some vectors through here. I don't care that it overlaps. I actually want them to overlap for the next program. So I'm going to give some, you can make these curvy, or you can make these curvy if you wanted to, or however you wanted to do them, but we're going to put some icing bands on their arms. Then we'll get this. Then we'll be able to get this into Fusion. Control D. Hold the control so we can move it around smoothly. Control D, and then mirror. So it looks right on this arm. Hold the control. Like I said, I want these overlapping for this purpose. There. Get some more names in here, we'll be ready to go. When I hit File and Export, I'm going to export this as an SVG. I've already got a mug. You can bring cup in. We'll save that one as cup. I'm in Fusion 360. I have a new document open. I want to insert SVG from my computer. I want to, let's do mug right now. Let's do this one. I want to, once I select my file, I want to select the plane that I want it to set on. I'm just going to tap this outside vector. That's going to highlight my entire outline. I'm going to hit E on the keyboard to extrude. I want to hit 1 on the numpad. I'm going to hit numlocks was not on. I'm going to hit 1 on the numpad, and I'm going to hit enter. That's going to extrude a 1mm border. I'm doing the outside first because I'm doing these on different levels. So I want to hide the body. I want to open my sketches. I want to unhide my sketch. Then I want to come here and select all the parts that I want to extrude next. And that's going to be the hats. I said Windows key. It's going to be the hats. I'm holding the control key and selecting all of these parts. We'll come in here and select the inside of the letters as well. The hat. Inside of the A's. Alright, let's go down here and grab our candy cane stripes. And our holly leaves and the berries. Even that little piece right there, that's going to be red because it's supposed to be the rest of the cup. Is that everything? I think that is. Oh, hold control, grab that little piece. I don't see anything else. I want to hit E, and I'm going to type 1.5 or 1.5 millimeters. Then we're going to hit OK. I've got the bodies hidden, so once it finishes, it will not show my extruded part yet. But if I unhide it, we can start to see what we're working with. You see the parts I just extruded is 0.5 millimeter higher than the base. Now, for the rest of the vectors, I'm going to extrude those to 2 millimeters. So let's hide our bodies. Let's get back to our So that's going to be the letters. Hold control, select all the letters, select the eyeballs and the mouth, and all the gumdrops, and the icing bands, whatever you want to call them. Yep. Don't forget the wristbands. The crap. People blowing the horn out there. Let's see, all of our gumdrops. I guess these are gumdrops and these will be sprinkles, I guess. Bands. Another one. And the letters. All of our Merry Christmas text. Alright, that looks like everything. And if it's not, I can always double click the particular extrude and add more elements to it. Let's hit E for extrude, hit number 2, and hit enter. There. We're going to hide our sketch. We're going to show our bodies. Looks to me like I got it all. Okay. Now, when we open our bodies, we're going to see, oh, we got a lot of bodies. I'm going to click the first body. I'm going to scroll all the way down. We're going to see it actually created 144 bodies. I'm going to hold my shift. I'm going to click the number 144, the body number 144. We're going to go up to modify, and I'm going to combine. Looks like my head was in the way. You see down here 144 bodies. Yeah, I am trying to get away from Fusion, but I just know where a lot of these tools are in Fusion. I have not gotten used to doing this in FreeCAD yet, so I am making the conversion, but it's a slow process. All right. Uh-oh. I see some holes. I missed some letters. Look at that. I missed a whole name. So before I combine all these bodies, I need to double click that last extrusion to get that back into edit. And we need to come down here, hold control, and select this name. select all the letters in this name. And then hit OK. Glad I saw that. Y'all was going to sit there and let me do that, and you weren't going to tell me about it. There. Am I missing anything else? Alright, that looks like everything. Now, let's go back up again. Click body 1. Go all the way down. Hold shift. Click body 147 now. Since we got those extra letters, we got more bodies. Click modify and combined. That's going to flatten everything down into one body. You can see the progress bar down here working away. And everything got mushed down to one body. And that's all it takes to make yourself a refrigerator magnet. Alright, I'm just going to right click on body 1. I want to click save as mesh. We could click this export, and we could go to print utility, and it would send this directly to Bambu Studio, but I'm going to export it. So we save this model. We'll keep body 1, we'll call it body 1. It's going to the desktop. Everything is so much slower opening up in Windows. Well, I don't particularly like using Windows, but I need it for Fusion 360 and Vectric VCarve. There we go. Now put this on the black layer. Scale it up to about 190 some odd something or others. Go to my paint can, white, edge detection, and let's start filling in our white areas. Don't forget to get inside the letters and the edges of everything. If you don't get the edges, that black layer will bleed through a little bit. So you really want to make sure you get those edges. And you can see when I get this edge, it's also going to paint around his arm. We'll fix that in a second. You know what? Control Z, Control Z. We'll fix that in another way. See how much it's, if I was to try to get the tip there, it's going to paint this whole edge white. I don't want that. So what I'll do to get the rest of that edge is I'll change this to triangle. And I'll cover it in that way. That's how I'll grab my edges there. See, the big stripe's going to be red, the small stripe's going to be white. There. Hmm. Now that'll be covering some white down in this area too. That will not be noticeable. Red. All those edges have been gotten. Just going around making sure I get all the edges of my gingerbread, peoples. Alright, let's go back to my white. That's red. Alrighty, move on. White. Ah. Control Z will undo any mistakes. I'm going to make the leaves brown. I'm going to paint these with a acrylic marker pen. Since I am using the Bambu X1C with the AMS, I am restricted to only 4 colors. Okay. There. Almost. Go over the whole piece pretty well. Make sure you didn't leave anything out. Like that right there. Sometimes you might have to glance over it a few times just to make sure you didn't forget nothing. Now these little sprinkle dots here, I'll be painting them with the acrylic pens as well. I believe that's done. Okay. Let's go ahead and slice that up and see what she looks like. Two hours and 56 minutes. Alright, I believe that looks good. Go ahead and send that to the printer. And you can always make those 3D prints a lot thicker and model slots in the bottom of them for these little neodymium magnets. I've got a ton of these square magnets, and 2 of them would be good for that purpose. But I also have this large roll of magnet material. But with this roll of magnet material, you can just peel off whatever you want and glue your 3D prints to the back of it. And I'm actually not sure where I got this roll of magnet material from, but I've had it for a long time. You can either super glue your magnets in, or you can use double-sided tape, however you see fit. I've done both. Made 3 of these so far, and I just super glued the magnet material straight to the back. I just took this roll of magnet material, I super glued my magnet on there, and then I cut it out around the piece. And I use a deburring tool to go around the edge and clean it up. There are several different ways you can attach your magnet to the back of your 3D prints to make a refrigerator magnet, but those are just some of the ways I've used. Hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the next one.